Hey guys, it's Talmadge and welcome to my channel. Guys, I know that I've been away for a while, but under popular demand, I am back just to give you guys some information on the PPP loans as well as the EDIL loan CARES Act. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So I've gotten a million questions from some of my subscribers, some of my clients in reference to the forgivable PPP. And so I just wanted to give you guys some guidelines because I know there's a lot of craziness that is out here on these YouTube streets. So, and because I care about you guys, I don't want you guys to bring on any unnecessary problems for yourself. So first of all, let's talk about what we can and cannot spend our PPP and our EDIL loan on if that we've received it. So whether you can spend your loan on is 60% of your PPP can be spent on payroll. The other 40% can be spent on mortgage payment, rental payments, the maintenance of that property, also software, business consultations, mentoring, anything that will enhance your business, you can actually pay 40% on the remainder. So 60% on payroll, the other 40% is going to be allocated towards the maintenance and upkeep of your business. Okay, so in terms of real estate, guys, don't go and buy a piece of real estate with your loans. The one thing that will happen is SBA will find that piece of real estate. They will attach a UCC filing on it, which is basically like a lien. It's like a public judgment against you and the business. And so that property is what they'll attach the UCC filing to basically relinquish, ownership of it. So you definitely don't want to go out and purchase real estate or all these expensive Lamborghinis and foreign cars that you guys love so much. So those are definitely no-nos. You don't want to do that. The other thing that you want to do is within a 24-week period, the money that is funded to you with regards to PPP is supposed to be allocated and spent within a 24-week period. So that money is not to just sit in your account. It's not to, travel with. It's not to do, a lot of the things that I'm seeing and hearing that people are doing with this money. So just make sure that you keep, great receipts, great pay history, and make sure that you are allocating the funds for, what they are for. Okay. I know that we have until December 31st to request forgiveness of the loan. And if you've allocated 60% for payroll and the other 40% for the maintenance and upkeep of that PPP loan, you can get the loan forgiven. However, you just have to make sure that you have spent the money appropriately. Once you get funded for PPP loan, then the date that you are approved, that's the date that the government goes by. You have up until 2 years to request forgiveness for that loan. However, in the meantime, you have up to 10 months within that approval to request that you want a forgiveness on that loan. So you have up to 2 years, but within 10 months of that approval, you have to request that you want to ask for forgiveness so that you can already be in the system. SBA, our government, is already aware of what you want forgiven, and so they can allocate the funds that they're going to lose in one manner to the next. So that way, it's in their system and there's an accountability process for that. Here. Oh, the other thing I wanted to remind you guys is if you are in any government system where you're receiving public welfare, Section 8, um, whatever you're receiving that is like governmental assistance, keep in mind these are government agencies and these government agencies do communicate with each other. So if you're receiving government assistance like Section 8 and then you go and you apply for a business loan, of course, at some point, these um, these entities are going to communicate with each other, and then guess who is going to come knocking at your door? So for those of you who, you know, are not real business owners, I would suggest that you guys stay, away from the PPP, especially, and also the EDIL loans. Um, I know sometimes things get a little tight and sometimes we feel like we have to do what we have to do, but at the end of the day, um, I don't want a lot of us to be set up and caused a lot of grief and problems due to the fact that we're in a tight situation and we feel like we don't have any choices. So I just want you guys to be wise and mindful and just think about, the consequences of your decision making. Okay. So by no means am I here to scare you guys. I just hear a lot and see a lot that's going on. And that's one of the reasons that I sort of piggybacked from the SBA and EDIL loans and PPP is because I kind of don't want to be a part of that big old, mess that is going to be, um, you know, that's going to create, many problems for a lot of people. Moving on to the CARES Act, the EDIL loan. For starters, let's start with the targeted advance. Okay. If that you didn't receive a advance or a grant the first time around, the targeted advance grant is for those people. Now, if you are not in a area where you're considered low income, then you are not going to get approved. I understand that Congress is in the process of trying to pass a bill to where you're not attached to your community and you're not denied based on not being in a low income community. But if you are in a low income community, then you're not going to be approved for the targeted advance. The second portion of the approval process with the targeted advance is that you have to show that you have taken a loss of 30% or more during COVID while our businesses were shut down or closed down. So those are the two elements that has to be in place in order for you to be approved. In reference to the increase, this time around the increases are taking a while, about a month. And so there's really no real support. They've taken a lot of the level 2 supervisors who were in position to kind of help you. They've taken those people off of the main floors and just kind of have set you with regular customer reps that can do nothing but say send an email. So it's kind of a waste of a time to call them. So send an email if you have any problems with the portal. However, if you've received an invite to the portal and you see where there's a level where you can move that level from right to left to increase your dollar amount, please note that if you have an existing loan amount for 100,000 and you want an additional 100,000, then what you're going to have to do is move that level to the right to 200,000. If you leave it on 100,000, that means that you don't want any more funding. And so therefore, if you did it that way and you submitted your application, you're not going to get any additional funding. What you have to do is send an email to COVID relief, and I'll put a link in the description below so that they can manually request the dollar amount. So you have to send an email saying, you know, I missed the mark, or I didn't understand that I had to move it to 200,000 in order to get the additional 100,000. So you have to send that email, and then it takes them some time to process it. And once they process it, they will get back to you and say, hey, we processed it manually, and you know, it's done. But it does take about a month for that to happen. The other concern that I want you guys to be aware of is on some of your files, some of you can request up to $500,000. However, if you request past 200,000, then assets are going to be required. So you have real estate, you have vehicles, whatever assets that you have that you own, those assets are going to be required in order to get more than 200,000. So guys, that is all the information that I have for you. I hope that you like, subscribe, and support my channel, as well as share this video if that you feel like the content was helpful. I'm always available for consultations and Zoom consultations as well. We've added that to the website. And so if that you guys have any questions or any concerns and you want to reach out to me, please feel free to do so. I will leave a link below. Outside of that, you guys have a wonderful evening and stay tuned.